Hello, everybody. Uh, I'm still traveling, and I know I promised that I would not. And look at me, wow. I know I promised I would not do another live stream until I got back to California, where I had better Wi-Fi. And then I jumped into Matt Thanatos's live stream last night, which was easy to do because it was a 3-hour live stream, and I couldn't watch it all last night. I didn't have the time, and my Wi-Fi was in a bad spot, and so I went this morning and I sat there and I mean I don't even have the words. And Matt's in the room, so if you're watching this later or whatever, you can click on his and go to his channel and watch what he. There's just so much I wanted to say, and I was so bummed that I wasn't there in the moment to chat and to share with that and to be a part of that. Um, and now Matt has basically earned the place in my book of having the two greatest live streams I've seen this entire year, and it was because both of them were comic adjacent and about so much more and had so much more meaningful things in them than the what you got from your poll that week or an unboxing video that you did or that slab box that you got back. And those things are great, and I love those things. And Jeffrey's here too, and I'm glad because he's done some great stuff on the same topic. But the idea that what is more important than comics, and there are so many things. And joy outside of comics, of course, is what's spurred a lot of this on. But Matt, you were the word I kept coming back to was like truth. There was so much truth in what you were doing last night and what you were saying, because social media, it's always about what's going great and the things that are great in your life, and that picture of you with your kid that's great, and that promotion that you got or that vacation weekend that you went on, and it's not about the the real stuff. um and that's what you were doing last night, and I'm sure it was difficult, I'm still, the bravery level was so high. Um it it, it just blew my mind, and I refused to watch it at any speed but normal speed. I settled in for the Lord of the Rings of live streams, and it was amazing. And I'm not going to go anywhere near that length, but I had so many things I wanted to like plan this like long email to Matt, and then I realized like no, he was brave and he went and said these things, and I'm going to be a part of this conversation because I want Matt, mostly I want you to know there's zero reason for you to be in any way like about it or like embarrassed by it or disappointed by it or whatever. I even saw people give it a thumbs down, and I was like, fuck you, people who gave that video a thumbs down. Like, I'm sorry. I know I'm a kid's channel, but like, holy crap. Like, talk about missing the message. And I finished your live stream, although I had to keep making jokes all the way through because there was some very funny. I mean, it was funny. It was just honest. And I think honesty can be funny, and honesty can be heartwarming, and honesty can be tear-inducing. And I was legitimately crying, and I'm going to work hard not to cry right now. It was incredible. And I don't want you to dwell at all on any guilt about like, oh, people wanted to see an unboxing video. Who freaking cares, right? You found something more important than an unboxing video, which is honesty and which is truth. Your personal truth matters way more than a shitty grail. And I'm sorry that I keep swearing. Um, I just, I was lit up, and I went immediately outside to think about it. I went and played in the snow with my girls, and we were doing sledding and all these things, and I was trying to think of like what I wanted to say. And I took notes and I wrote some things down because there was so much I wanted to say and so much I wanted to offer, because I don't want to piggyback on yours and I don't want to ruin what you were doing, but I really wanted to just speak to you. But then if other people want to listen, fine. If they don't want to listen, I don't care. Like, you're not the only one in these situations. It's the first idea. And a lot of what you were going through reminds me of what my dad went through. And by the time I was 10, both of my parents were divorced and both had been remarried. And my mom's been married several times. I know exactly how your daughters feel, and you're in the absolute worst time of it. If there's a shit show, it's right now, and you're in it, and it's the worst. And it's hard because you hold on to, like think of those days when you first had to drop your kids off for daycare or something like this, and they're crying and it's really difficult, and that you hold with you your whole day, and then you pick them up and they're all smiles and they're running to you and they had a great day, but it was like that little awful moment, you hold it with you. And it's got to be the same for what you're doing right now. So when I was 13 or so, I I was really frustrated with my dad, and I'm sure your daughters might have the same problem. And I had a really long conversation with my dad. I basically, we were doing 2 weeks with my mom and 2 weeks with my dad, and back and forth. And I went and I sat with him, and I basically told him, I don't want to live with you anymore. I had to basically tell that to his face. I was very frustrated, and I was not happy with the relationship that we had. And of course, there was probably a lot of blame going on. And I will happily admit, not happily, I will freely admit, I was probably trying to get a dig in on him, and I know that it upset him, and I know that it hurt him in a huge way. And I hold that, like I hold that like I did this, and he was man enough to be able to say, okay, if you really feel this way, let's give it a try. And he let me live with my mom full time, even though he had split custody and he had my brothers half time and he had all these things, and he could have fought it and he could have made it dramatic and difficult, but he went the other way and knew that it was the best course in that moment. And since then, we, it only lasted a short time, and then he started having me back on weekends, and then we started doing a split rotation with my brothers so that we weren't always all together. It was a horribly difficult time, and I have nothing but just pity and for all people in these situations, because it's very universal. It is not just you coming through something like that. It's hard on everybody, and I'm a teacher. I see people at all stages of divorce with their kids and all the challenges they're going through, and I would say you're doing so much for your kids, and it's easy to hold on to that moment. It's easy to hold on to that moment when you're dropping them off and you're leaving and you know you're not going to see them for a long time, because it's so painful. But you got to also remember the other moments, the pickup moments, when you first see them after a long time, or you do your live stream with them, or whatever you do, because you can't have one without the other. It's all those things mixed together. And I'm already 8 minutes in, and I haven't. Okay. So you mentioned experiences instead of money and buying comics, and to invest in an experience. And I will tell you that it was the number one reason I sort of shaped my comic channel around my girls, is I wanted it to be an experience for the two of us, and not simply just me retreating to a room, every once in a while, which is great. And all of us need those moments where it's like, I need a reboot. I need to feel like I spent some time with myself, or I enjoyed, something for me, and I have that moment. But for me, I also wanted to have these things that we could share, my girls and I, and investing in the experience over whatever it is, over the new book or the grail you've been hunting, and investing in that. But you can't be down on yourself too for shaping those things and having the time to go and invest in a book, and that means something to you personally. The way you describe your connection to Green Lantern and those books, and what that meant to you at that time, it's significant. And if you watch all of the Reggie videos, when Reggie had people doing why do you collect, that series is so meaningful, because it's more than just pictures on paper. It is so much more than that, and the meanings that behind it are so much greater. And there's always hardships between families and fathers and kids. So Kate has ADHD. She's been diagnosed with that, and we've gone through a lot of doctors and a lot of challenges to try to find ways to make it easier on her and on us. It's not. I mean, it just takes more challenge. It takes more time. It takes more patience. And after all day teaching with kids, then I've got students in my, sorry, my hair is crazy, but I've got teaching with all of my kids at school, and they've got autism and ADHD and all these things. And then to come home, it's hard to have that patience for her. And she and I have this dramatic relationship sometimes where it's really, really great, and then it's really, really frustrating. We're both kind of frustrated, and it's fine. Like it's not awful. Like it's not a bad thing. We both appreciate when it's going well, and then both know that when it's failing, we both have ownership in why it's not working, because it's not a one-sided deal. And my dad was really willing to listen to me when I was like, this isn't working. And he was willing to say, you know what, I can take half of this ownership and we can figure out the best way to make it work together. Valuing a relationship over a YouTube channel or over a whatever, it doesn't mean you can't take time out and enjoy these things. And this community is so insane in an amazing way. The friends I've made are as real as anything else. I know we don't see each other in real life, like you said, Matt, but they're so real. And just, being able to chat about stuff, it's not, if it was just, hey, my new Grail and my new books and just all the good stuff, it would be an absolute waste. This medium would be an absolute waste. But it's also about the screw ups or the random books that you collect that aren't worth anything, because we all have a million of them. It's not like we have a collection full of Grails. It's not about any of that. It's about the good and the bad together. The most meaningful part of last night for me, Matt, if you watched, and you did, the chat, people like NYC, who just said something a second ago, people like I Got Issues, the level of honesty coming from people willing to be able to say, yeah, it's not all giggles and fireworks. It's real life, and it's so fantastic. You should be really, really proud of the decision you made, because you didn't make it selfishly. And if you feel like you made it selfishly, then you are 100% wrong. And I am so glad my dad made the decision he made with my mom when they made it, and didn't just stick it out longer and longer and longer, because they were really miserable. And I look at what my dad has done since then, and sorry guys, am I still live here? Sorry if I've gone in and out. This is the Utah mountains, and I'm dealing with it. But what I was saying is my dad's a great role model, and I appreciate, even though I couldn't in the moment, and even though your daughters might not be able to appreciate it right now, I promise you they will appreciate it later, because you're not going to not be there for them. You will always be there for them, and you're always going to be a part of what's going on with their lives, and supportive of the hard choices they end up having to make in their lives, just like your parents have been supportive of you. It's real. I should say your mother. And you being willing to just talk about things that are not just, shits and giggles or whatever. It's a reality that your kids will grow to appreciate that decision, even if it's hard for them to understand it when they're 11, because who could possibly understand that when they're 11? So trust in yourself for that choice, because it was a really good one, and you found, in a lot of ways, a better place for you, so that you can be a better person for them. And that's a huge part of what I want to say. And in the long run, this will keep them off the pole a hell of a lot better than being there and suffering through something that is miserable for everybody. You talked about speaking in front of people and how hard it is, and how you were basically telling us things that you would never tell people that you knew in person. And I will tell you, I am somebody who chose a profession of talking to kids because I cannot stand to talk to adults. And when I have to do back to school night or parent night, and I've got to talk to a room full of parents who all have huge expectations of what they want for their kid that year. These are my nightmare days, and I have to do several of them every year. But I could spend all day talking to a room of 100 kids, telling jokes, and being the center of attention with kids because it's so different. There's no judgment. There's no attitude. I mean, there's attitude, but there's no hate. There's no agenda. And it is so, I feel the exact same way that this medium is so different because I don't have to actually see. Oh, I'm live. Did I go away for a second? Sorry. Technical glitch. All I see are names scrolling up, and occasionally a person or two with me. But the truth is, like, talking in front of people like you did is incredibly brave and incredibly true, incredibly real. And you should be proud of yourself for dealing with that, because this time of year is crazy hard. And it should be, because it's family and family is difficult. But be proud of yourself that you got through it and that you're in a better place in so many ways. Let's see, what else did I want to say? Yeah, I guess the quote I went back to for this, Matt, was from Harry Potter, and I thought you would appreciate it. And you were talking about, is a relationship online like this, is it real because it feels real, or is it in our heads? Is it just you and a camera? And I will quote the ever quotable Albus Dumbledore, J.K. Rowling, obviously, saying, "Of course this is real. Of course it's all in your head, but why on earth would that make it not real?" It is completely true. This is a truthful medium. And if you read the people in your chat last night, they were right there with you and sharing their own honesty and sharing their own truth and a part of something that was endlessly true. And I am just very grateful that you were able to do something like that, and you should not feel in any way guilty. You've earned all the thumbs down that you got, and screw those people. And anybody who was disappointed that they didn't get an unboxing video, screw that. Like, screw that. That's the person who goes to the movie theaters just to see the Transformers movie and can't appreciate anything else. And I'm not hating on Transformer movies. I'm just saying there's more to life. It's not just one thing. And YouTube is the same way. It does not have to just be unboxing videos. There's so much more. I think I've gotten through all my notes. I want to... You're missing out, because literally the two greatest live streams or the two greatest YouTube videos I've seen this year were both by this gentleman, because he is honest to a fault. Oh, great. I've frozen again. Oh, great. Sorry. Having Wi-Fi heck. He's honest. He's truthful to what he's presenting of himself. He doesn't care about what anybody thinks, because the truth is the people that appreciate you are going to stay subscribers, and the people that aren't can find another channel. And go check out that unboxing he did with TJ. It's the same element of truth. It's the same element of honesty. And it's two friends sharing an unexpected gift. And just as meaningful as going through a hard time is celebrating a good moment between friends. And his channel has all of this. It's insane. It's insane. I can only hope one day that there's other people that have a channel as worthy of our attention as that. And subscribe to him, check him out. You're missing out if you haven't had the chance. And I just thank you. I was sitting on the couch, everybody's, out in the snow playing, and I'm like bawling. And it was like so meaningful. And then I was in turns just like laughing about imagining blind people and their comic books and the kinds of comic books that people would read if they were blind. I was picturing your girl and dem legs and the the Braille version of Dem Legs, and so it was everything you'd want in a real YouTube video. It was honest, it was funny, it was powerful, and it was just amazing. So thank you so much for having this channel and having that courage and for sharing. I mean, it was, I didn't even get into the history side. You gave an entire history of your family that was so meaningful, and world history. You're teaching us about, you know, Iwo Jima, and you're teaching us about Japanese internment camps and samurai. And it was like, I'm cheers to you. I can't thank you enough. And it's worth the 3 hours, even if you have to watch it at double speed. It's totally worth it. I'm really hoping you do this for every freaking Bueller box from here on out, is basically what I'm saying. Bueller's in here. You're live tonight at 5:30, I believe. And he's got Bueller boxes and things. So if everybody gets one of these if Bueller boxes become this meaningful, I think Bueller's going to have a future as a salesman. I'm just going to say that. So thanks for people who stopped in. I can't thank him enough for that video, and everybody needs to go watch it. It's just really valuable. You will not regret it. So I'm gonna jump off of here so that you can then jump over there. And I kept mine to 21 minutes, Matt. So, and look at me. I've been wearing ski gear all day. So, thank you everybody. Oh, Just a Rican, you got your box. Okay, awesome. Please have a great night, great weekend. I'll see you all again on Wednesday night on my channel, but until then, just watch all of Matt's videos because they're worth it. And check out Bueller tonight. I'll try and make it. Oh, I don't know how to get out of here now. Now I'm stuck. So you guys can, hey, I'm going to be hanging for a little bit. Oh, there it is, up top. Bye, guys.